People have been put out of work at a faster rate than at any time for 8 months, according to the latest unemployment figures. Young people and women workers have been particularly badly hit.
The Prime Minister called any rise a matter for huge concern. Across the UK, the number of unemployed went up by 49,000 in 3 months to last November, meaning a total of 2.5 million are now out of work.
Among the worst hit areas are London and Yorkshire. 9.2% are out of work there. In North East England, it's 9.6%.
But the West Midlands is suffering the most. Their unemployment is 9.9%, more than 250,000 potential workers with no jobs. Our economics editor, Daisy McAndrew, has been to the region to hear the story of just one of them.
Another day, another job interview for Lucas. You might recognise him. ITV News has been following his job search for a year and a half in our Class of '09 series.
It's been hard. Times you get stressed out and feel like everything's just coming to an end, but you get through it.
After college, he wanted to become a sports instructor, but living in the West Midlands, the area worst hit by today's unemployment figures, jobs are scarce. So today he's being interviewed to become a commission-based door-to-door salesman. Afterwards, he thinks they'll give him a trial, but 19 months out of work hasn't helped his confidence.
I've had the experience in working, but I haven't had the job. So I can say to an employer, yeah, I've done work experience, but they want to know if I've had a job.
Lucas's story is far from unique. Of the 49,000 people who've just lost their jobs, 32,000 were under 24, meaning there are now nearly 1 million out-of-work British youngsters, the highest since records began in 1992. So whilst unemployment across the board is now nearly 8%, for the young it's more than 20%.
Politicians often talk of a young generation lost to unemployment, and the last government did set up the Future Jobs Fund, a £1 billion scheme to create 150,000 6-month work placements. But in the next few weeks, the coalition government will scrap it. They say their time, energy and money is better spent trying to encourage private sector job creation.
The Independent Office of Budget Responsibility says that it expects to see employment growth of 1 million across the rest of this Parliament, 1 million new jobs.
But in the West Midlands, they've already lost 18,000 public sector jobs, with another 5,000 on the way.
There's nothing out there at the moment that's growing to pick those jobs up. So I think, unfortunately, we're looking again at a whole generation of never having a hope of getting into work.
So who's right? Well, this local recruitment consultant says there is movement in the private sector.
Say since September last year, 2010, it's gone really busy in the private sector. In fact, I'm seeing double the number of jobs, and the confidence is growing in the clients. They're actually planning ahead for 2011.
The government, though, is determined to cut the deficit, and jobs will inevitably go too. But with 1 in 5 young people like Lucas already out of work, at what cost? Daisy McAndrew, ITV News, Birmingham.